Hello there, welcome to Genessis-Models. My name is Bob Waldron and this is the 4th of March 2016 Genesis Model Show. So moving into March, we are still working on the X47B, which hopefully you'll like it that we've got to the spray stage. I've almost finished the spray stage. We've sort of done all sorts of pre-shading, bleaching. We've been using the AK Interactive new Air Series paint range as well, which is proving to be a nice paint range, and looking at the colour match for this particular aircraft, looks like a good colour match as well. Probably next week we're going to be sort of going into some only maybe a little bit of post shading, maybe try some things out. We've also got the engines to do and everything. Hopefully we'll be sort of going right through into deckling, and maybe squeeze it into the final sort of stage of weathering and everything. But we'll see how far we'll get next week. So you've got an episode of that to watch for this week. Up next is the competition. Right, last month's competition for February was for this fantastic Airfix Merlin HC3. Really cool kit. I'd love to build this. I mean, actually I should probably do a quick inbox review of this before I actually send it off, but after doing a random number generation program and counting down the thread, I came to Fox 86. So congratulations, you are Fox 86. You are the winner of February's 2016 competition for our Merlin HC3. Now if you didn't win it, don't worry, later on the show I'll be announcing what's going to be March's 2016 competition. So let's move along with the show to the part of the show where we take a look at our kit release news for the past couple of weeks. So starting off this show's kit release news, we have the Do 335A by Hong Kong Models 1/32 scale at a whopping £162.99. HPH Models released their Focke-Wulf TA 154, which is 1/32 scale at also a whopping £154.99. We have the awaited Defiant Mark 1 by Airfix 1/48 scale at a nice price of £18.99. Revell released a brand new tool of the Shackleton AEW2, that is 1/72 scale at £36.99. We have the Blehem Mark 1E, and that is also by Airfix 1/72 scale at £16.99. We have Bronco Models releasing a British cruiser tank A34 Comet 1/35 scale at £32.99. Bronco Models also releases a Panzer III Oust A 1/35 scale at £36.99. We have a M24 Chaffee British Army, which is by AFV Club 1/35 scale at £42.99. Taken release a AMX 1375 light tank IDF 2-in-1, that's 1/35 scale at £39.99. We also have the AMX 1390 version, that's the French light tank, also by Takom, 1/35 scale at £39.99. And basically the same kit, an AMX 1375 French light tank with the SS11 ATGM 2-in-1 tank by Takom 1/35 scale at also £39.99. We have some German elite infantry Eastern Front World War II era by Masterbox 1/35 scale at £10.99. We have some Vietnam War series of a Jungle Patrol by Masterbox as well, 1/35 scale, £10.99. And we have a really cool hand-to-hand fight German and British infantrymen World War I by Masterbox again, also 1/35 scale, but at £14.99. And to finish off, we have the USS Gearing DD 710 1945 by Dragon 1/350 scale at a price of £44.99. And that is it for the kit release news for the past couple of weeks. So there's our kit release news for the past couple of weeks. Hopefully you're enjoying what's being released lately. What we've got coming up next in the show is I've been sent by AK Interactive some metal track links. Love them or hate them. AK Interactive has really took these on board as a new thing that they're doing, and you know what, I'm quite impressed actually with these. So let's take a look at a product review of AK Interactive's Tiger metal tracks. Hello there, welcome to Genessis-Models. My name is Bobby Waldron, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at AK Interactive's new range of track links. Now at the moment there is about 6 different track links out there, from like Panzers, Panzer IIIs, Shermans. This one in particular that we're going to be taking a look at is of the Tiger 1E. The late version. Now these track links are metal track links, so they're nice and weighted. And if you ask me, when it comes to track links on a model, although they can be a bit tedious to put together, they are like the best track links you can get, because they're weighted and everything. They will conform to the road wheels and a drive wheel and idle wheel. Absolutely perfect and look really natural. But as I say, that can be a bit tedious to put together. So I'm going to show you how to put them together and have a really close look at the detail on this. But as a side note, on the AK Interactive website you can actually buy these now assembled. It is about €29 to actually buy the unassembled box, and then it is a measly just €39 to buy them assembled. So about €10 to have these assembled for you, which I think is a fantastic deal there by AK Interactive. So looking at the box art, as you can see, lovely box art on here. We have the instructions are on the back. The instructions to build these are really simple. You just need to you know, it is a bit repetitive, shall we say, but let's have a close look at the detail. We'll open up the box. In the box what we get is a whole big bag of these track links, which we need to assemble 96 links for each track. And as a side note as well, this is for 1/35 scale. You also get a nice bit of wire as well, which is used to bring these together and have them nicely flowing. So let's have a close look at the detail of these track links. Let's just get any random track link and bring you in. So looking at the track link, hopefully you can see, you know, we've got some really good detail on here. And you know, the last thing you want with this sort of thing is to have loads of flash and bits that need to be sanded and trimmed up. You know, you want them to be really good molds, and these are good molds, as you can see there. I just picked up a random one, let's pick up another random one. You know, really good molds. Now when assembling these, I mean, you want to go off and just make sure there is no you know, as I say, bits of flash. I mean, they are good molds, but you know, there is the odd little bit of flash. And what you'll also notice is just along here there is potentially some tiny sort of marks just on here where they've been, you know, cut off of the sprue or something like that. That is easily resolved with, I mean, potentially you could use a blade, because it's like a soft metal. You can easily just trim them off. these are going to be covered up, so you're not really going to see them, so you don't have to be like mega neat or anything like that. To get rid of, you just want to get rid of those things just so as the tracks will sort of you know, it won't hinder the tracks moving. You can use a little metal foil as well if you so wish, but they're not that bad actually, and that one's actually rather good. There is on the odd one or two of these, if I can just find one, there is a bit of flash, whereas I'm trying to find one that's got one now. I did notice one or two did have them, although I can't find one now for the camera. Okay, there's like a tiny bit of flash just in here. Right, it is absolutely tiny, it's no big deal. You do just want to go through all your track links and just double check and make sure they are all good. I have just noticed here with this one, which, you know, we have got a slight bend here, which we can just come in with some flat tweezers and sort of just shape them back into shape. That's no big deal. But yeah, as you can see, you know, you do want to go through each and every single one of these track links just to make sure that, you know, there's no flash on them, there's no bends or anything like that. In general, as you can see as I go through these, I mean, you know, there isn't really much. I mean, we've got a bit of flash just there, which actually is just probably just a bit of leftover metal. If we could just focus you in. That's sort of easily just sort of scraped out a bit. But yeah, not bad actually, not bad for sort of like white metal. Normally white metal can be really problematic and you can really have a lot of work to do on them, but these are really good molds. Then we have this piece of wire, which basically what we need to do here, if I just sort of cut off a little piece with some cutters. The instructions want you to sort of nicely get this sort of all nice and straight, so using all sorts of techniques of using a ruler or something, we can sort of roll them, try and roll it straight like so, and that does get them rather nice and straight, as you can see just there. And then if we get some of these track links, hopefully if we just bring you in again, you'll be able to see that they just absolutely fit together beautifully as well, just like so. Let's get you on camera, there we go. Fits beautifully like so, and what you basically need to do is you just slide in your piece of metal wire there, right, and that then gives you what you need, and then we can simply cut that like so, and then if we can actually get this out now, we can then use this as a template. Right, this is what you want. You want to go off and get absolutely loads and loads of these at that length, so it's a case of going off and sort of, you know, getting your metal wire, straightening it out, and then we cut them all to the same length like so. At which point, when you've got all of them, we can then, and they do say to use tweezers to put these in, and you should do, because I did sort of go off and sort of ignore the instructions and then ended up stabbing myself. So yeah, definitely follow the instructions and use tweezers to put these in. Now if you make sure you get it nice and straight, it will just fall in there absolutely beautifully. And then all you need is a little bit of super glue just on the end, just here, only a little bit. You only want to put a little bit in there, because if you put too much in there, you know, it's going to potentially glue the metal tracks as well. And in some cases, really, you should try and use a more thicker super glue as well, which I'll just show you what I've been using. It's called Slow Zap by Zapagap, and basically it's just the same as your normal CA glue, apart from it's a little bit thicker. Now I say use the thicker stuff because what can potentially happen is when you sort of put a little bit of glue on the end there, if the super glue is, say, let's just get it out. We've got the fin CA glue. If you use the fin CA glue, that will just have a capillary action that will go all the way down that little wire rod there, and it will glue your piece of track link together. So if you use the slow zap, it's going to be fixed, so it won't have that capillary action to go down, and it'll just glue that top bit, and you'll still have a moving track, which I've just done a few more off camera, and as you can see, they do look rather stunning when they're all sort of together and moving. You know, and at the end, when you're finished, you can sort of come along with a metal file and just sort of sand the tops. You know, you're basically probably just sanding off a bit of super glue that's been left over, and they're just going to be all nice and perfect, and they do look amazing actually. I mean, it would take me quite a bit of time to actually sort of make a bit for you, but yeah, I'm looking at this, and they are going to be absolutely stunning. They're going to look way better than anything that you got to get in kits, whether it's, you know, the plastic ones or it's the rubber tracks. They're going to look way more fantastic. Once you get going with this, it does, you know, you do sort of get into it. Maybe just have some music on in the background, and you know, you can sort of get this sort of built up quite quickly. But you know, that offer on the AK Interactive website for just an extra €10 to have them pre-assembled, I think it's a fantastic deal if you are a bit daunted by the task of putting all these track links together. So yeah, in total, I would say, one, you know, the price is it's fantastic. I mean, I have seen the price of some of these metal track links on other shops of other manufacturers, and they can be actually rather an expensive add-on to any armored vehicle you do, which has sort of put me off in the past. But the price of these being like €30, which in the UK is like gonna be, I don't know, potentially like £20–25 ish, is a bargain. You know, and to have them pre-assembled as well, that option is also fantastic, and the mold quality is fantastic. So yeah, a big thumbs up for AK Interactive there with their new metal tracks range there. So hopefully this product review has been beneficial to you, and just a little sort of tutorial on sort of putting this together has also been helpful as well. So hopefully you've enjoyed that. So until next time, my name is Bob Waldron, this is Genesis Models, and I hope you've enjoyed. So there's some metal tracks there by AK Interactive. Hopefully you enjoyed that product review there. We're now coming up to the part of the show where we're going to take a look at all your absolutely fantastic work that you do on the forum in a work in progress fashion. So let's take a look at you know, how you guys are getting on with your builds here on the Genesis Models forum. So starting off our work in progress, we have Artex with his 1/48 scale trumpeter J10A out of the box. As you can see, he's getting rid of that seam line on the canopy there. And also you'll notice there's a bit of a gap between those two pieces of canopy there, which he goes off and uses a nice bit of stirring plastic to sort of fill that gap by shaping that nicely. And as you can see, he's accomplished that rather well. And also just before the spraying stage, he is going around with the black spray paint just to make sure and check all those seam lines, just to make sure, you know, that you can see, you know, whether there's any gaps or whatnot left. He's doing some pre-shading here with a lighter grey than what I normally do, but it does look rather good. And as you can see from the spray work, you know, he's got a good camo pattern going on there as well, and that's all sprayed up rather well. And quite nicely here, he's using a nice little trick here with the radome, the nose cone here, by just simply taking a sanding stick and actually sanding that main coat of that dark grey there off some of the raised areas, to then sand it down only just to the primer. So you've got to really sand that down really lightly to get that effect. And then we've also got, he's working on his exhaust cans there and putting a nice blue tinge in there. And as you can see, through the deckling stage, you know, it's all looking rather good. So you know, nice work in progress so far there by Artex. Next is DDoc666 with his 1/48 scale JA37. Hopefully you've seen by these pictures here, he's just started to sort of get this going with the landing gear and the cockpit and air intakes there, and he's doing some nice scratch building, you know, with adding wires to wheel wells and landing gear and everything, and his cockpit is really starting to look really stunning. Nice work there on the instrument display panels, well painted ejector seat and pilot. You know, it looks like he's taking good use of all sorts of techniques with washes, maybe dry brushing, highlights, you know, it's all there. Also, D-Doc666 has been working on his 148 scale 91B Sapphire. We showed this last show as well, but as you can see, he's working on a nice diorama here, where he's using a paste to make a texture. Nice dark green there, and then he's doing some what looks like to be dry brushing, and then you've got all your static grass to building up this diorama. We've got some nice sort of miniatures as well. I'm thinking that's like civilian crowd or something, which is looking like it's going to turn into a really cool diorama there for D-Doc666. We have Ian Price up next with his 1/72nd scale Tamiya Moskito FB Mark 6. Now this one we get to see all the way through from start to the end. You know, he's gone, you know, all out with the cockpit with all sorts of washes and stuff, very effective there. His crew painting is looking rather good as well. I'm seeing, you know, a nice wash on there, which has really sort of brought out all the detail on those crewmen. Also nice bit of scratch building as well on the front MGs there, starting off with a nice bit of metal wire as sort of like a base for a nice sort of a brass tube there, which is nicely cut on I'm not sure what that tool is, but you know, it looks rather good. It's cut it nicely to size, and you know, on the model looks absolutely stunning. Nice bit of scratch building there. Also going for a in-flight display. He's using basically drilled a nice little hole, then a bit of styrene plastic just to bulk it out a bit, and you know, you can get a screw nicely in there, as you can see, and that holds up the model rather well. You know, it's not going to be going anywhere. And as you can see, with all the wings on and everything, looking rather good in-flight display. Nice little trick here with a bit of clear plastic, you know, paint up the colour of whatever indicator light you're going to be having, green or red. Simply super glue that down or glue it down, and you know, it is a bit of a process. It does look a bit ugly at the moment, but with enough sanding you can sand that absolutely beautifully to act as like a nice indicator light there, as you can see, looking stunning there. Now quickly moves along with spraying and the deckling stage and some weathering there, but you know, here we have the final reveals of that one. As you can see, a stunning aircraft, and in 1/72nd scale as well, so well done there to Ian Price.
So there's all the fantastic work you guys have been doing on the forum. Absolutely loving looking through all those photos and seeing how you're tackling different situations. But now we come to the part of the show where we're going to announce March's competition. So for March competition, taking a look at some new kits I've got in, we've got here the Tornado GR4, which is a nice new kit release from Revell. It was something like last year they did the Tiger Mitt Tornado as a brand spanking new tool. So this is a rebox of that, so it's still a new tool-ish going on, only like a year old, but they've done it in the GR4 version. I do believe when they first released this, they had to recall the boxes because they didn't put all the GR4 stuff in there. So you might want to check if you did buy this, that if you've
got all your GR4 stuff. You know, if you haven't, you know, you just send it back, and they should sort you out with the missing parts that are in there. But this kit is all good to go. So this is going to be March 2016 competition. To be in it, to win it, again, go to the Genessis-Models forum. On the forum competition section, in March 2016 competition, in that thread, just post count me in or something to that effect, and you're entered. And then the beginning of April, I will announce who the winner is, just like I did with our Merlin HC3 down there. So hopefully you'll get in on this, because this is a cracking kit. I do like the Tornado personally, so this is definitely something I will be, you know, at some point in the future, I don't know when, but I do love the Tornado, so I will be building that as a step-by-step at some point. So sadly, we come to the end of the show. Again, with the X47, we're going to be working on that all next week, so I'm hoping to get past the Decklin stage. I'm actually hoping to get that X47 finished for March as well, completely. So should be hopefully starting a brand new video build. So ooh, you know, what shall I build? I don't know. Any suggestions, you know, just leave any comments or emails, what you might like to see, or maybe generally, would you like to see World War II, modern aircraft, armored ships? You know, maybe give me an idea. In fact, maybe I might put up a post actually on the forum, maybe a bit of a vote of sort of what category you'd like to see come up next. But until then, sadly, we've come to the end of the show, and as always, I will leave you with the absolutely fantastic, brilliant modeling work that you guys do on the forum here of all your final reveal photos.